the world. And I've got to, I believe, push a button here. 1 second. There we go. I'm still clear. I'm good. Okay, because you can hear me, right? 100%. Got it. So just in saying that, Sarfraz, with reaching out to your Eagles, and you and I connected immediately when you joined, and I remember that day when you joined. I remember the conversations I was having with Aditya, with corporate in India, and I remember what happened in those early days and weeks in our conversations. But the imprint, again, in the statement that you made for your part of the world, for India and your market, has been absolutely incredible. There is so much to share with all of you. And first of all, I just want to say a happy New Year to all of you. A happy post-Diwali to all of you. I have a very close connection to India in my personal life, and really, as far as the business goes, my first connection to this industry 34 years ago came from India, and came from my very first distributor that I signed up in this industry. It was June of 1988 when I signed up my very first distributor. His name was Navit Bahadur. He's from India, living in Toronto at the time, and him and I had worked in the corporate world prior to getting involved in the industry. So he was my very first distributor that I signed up. And he was originally from India and moved to Toronto and raised a family there. And my very first organization, my first leader, my first connection in terms of culture, in building a business and building an organization, was through an Indian organization. So I've got a very close, piece of me and deep into my heart, of how I got started off in this industry, and understanding and recognizing so much the culture. And I got so much respect for the Indian culture. But what was told to me 34 years ago, and I started to see it back then from afar, because I had never been to India, and I never got to India until the mid-90s for my very first trip. And I've been there multiple times since then. But I would never forget reading that they had the largest democracy in the world and the fastest growing middle class in the world. There was over 1 billion people in India. And I'll never forget a distributor that was in my organization when I got started 34 years ago. And he said, Dan, if you ever come to India, this is what it's going to be like in terms of opportunity. He said, you'll be able to run an ad in a newspaper, and that's back when newspapers ran ads. You don't do that today because so much has changed. This is with my very first company that I got involved with. But he said, if you run an ad an inch by inch in a local newspaper in India, he says, you'll fill a stadium. He says, there is so much opportunity in India. There is so much hunger in India, within that culture, within those people, to have two things. And one is what we have. They're certainly looking, and you'll see this. It doesn't matter if you're in India, if you're in Russia, if you're in China, if you're in South America, if you're here in North America, there's two things. Number one, everyone loves our products. Everyone loves our products. And number two, everyone wants a better way of life. And what we've seen here and what I saw with India in those early days before we were able to bring our business and our opportunity to India, because our industry has only been in India right now for about 20, it's a little over 20 years, maybe about 25 years as an industry. Our industry has been around for well over 100 years, starting in North America well over 100 years ago. But the opportunity has never, ever been better than it is today, globally, especially in India. We have, I don't have to tell you, as all of you know, you have got the largest democracy in the world, the fastest growing middle class. What I had always said to Dalibor, I know I had said it to Shatan, but I said it to Chris Sharn, our CEO, the president of NHT Global. I said the same thing to Maya. We have got the greatest and deepest recruiting pool in the world right there in India. The key was leadership. If you're finding that right person, I've always said, if you find the general, you will find the army. You don't need to recruit and sponsor an army. You find that general and they'll find you the army. They'll bring you that. So I've always felt if you get the best, they'll bring you the rest. And we were blessed and very fortunate to find in what we have, and the same thing, and as I've shared with you, Sarfraz, in being able to bring you into this opportunity, you saw the vision and the bigger picture of where we're going to be long term. And 20 years ago, when Garcia and I started NHT Global, I think for a lot of you, you know that Joe and I were the first distributors. I was the very first distributor. Joe was number two. We partnered up in the one position. So we are today partners. I got started off in the industry in 1988, and I think it's important that you understand where I came from, because it represents where certainly I am today, but where you are today, and most importantly, where you're going to be tomorrow. And that's really what I want to share with you a little bit on where I started back 34 years ago, back in 1988. But most importantly, but it's critical where I started, because I didn't start from a position of strength when I got started off in this industry. But we're going to fast forward after I share the story with you to how Joe and I launched this company 20 years ago. And our vision one day was to be in your country, to be in your market, and to find that leadership in there, to have ambassadors in India, and not one or two, but to have ambassadors all throughout India. We knew that was going to happen. 20 years ago, when Garcia and I started, and I'll share a little bit of this with you, and then I'll back up to when I got started off in the industry, because never forget where you came from. As you achieve success and as you achieve your ranks, it is critically important to never forget where you came from. And I have never forgotten that, because when I got started off in this industry in 1988, I had actually had a pretty good, I was in my early 30s at the time. Back in 1988, I was actually 32 years old when I was introduced to this industry for the first time. But when I was introduced to the industry, I had just gone through 10 years in the corporate world here in North America, traditional business. 10 years I was in the fashion industry. I was running one of the largest fashion houses, fashion companies in the country. I was one of the youngest, as they said, successful executives. I was 28 years old when I was running the largest fashion house in Canada, which was into the United States as well. But I always had a dream to go into business for myself, to be my own boss, to control my destiny, not have someone dictate where I was going to go, tell me when I had to get up, tell me when I had to go to bed, tell me what I had to do. I wanted to dictate that. So I went into business for myself when I was about 30. And because I was running this company when I was 28, I got involved with the company when I was 20. But the bottom line, within 2 years in traditional business of owning and operating my own business, and that was in traditional business. I owned an importing company in the fashion industry. And I lost that after 2 years. I was at that time 32. So I had been 10 years in the corporate world, 2 years in private business. I actually thought I was in a good marriage, but I found out later I wasn't, unfortunately. My wife left me. So I lost my business. My wife had left me. I got pretty stressed out. I got very sick, and I ended up in the hospital. I'm 32 years old. I get out of the hospital after spending 2 months with a health challenge that the NHT products have basically saved my life on, a health challenge called ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease. And the products impacted and helped me immensely with that particular health issue. But back when I was 32, it was the spring of 1988 when I was 32 years old. I had gotten out of the hospital, moved back in with my parents, went on government assistance. I was on what they call unemployment insurance. My wife had left me, and I owed more money to more people that I didn't know than I probably did know. And I was at the lowest point of my life. That's when I was introduced to this industry for the first time. So as I said, I was not dealing from a position of strength. So I'm talking to you, no matter where you are, it does not matter. It doesn't matter where you are. It's where you're going, and it all starts in here and in here. So if it's strong enough in your heart and in your gut of you wanting to go where you want to go, you can achieve greatness. I've always said, if what you want is greater than the resistance you meet, you can attain your goals and your dreams. And if your goals and dreams are greater than your fears, you can accomplish anything. Because it's incredible in our industry. It is really incredible. The people that have hit the highest ranks in our industry, and I say industry, not just here with NHT Global, but if you go across throughout all of the NHT lands, all of these global ambassadors, and if you surveyed them, you studied them and found out where they came from and what they had to overcome to achieve that greatness, it's incredible. But if you look at all great entrepreneurs outside of our industry, what challenges did they have to meet? What standards did they have to raise themselves to accomplish what they wanted? And it's what you become in pursuit of what you want is the greatest thing that you'll achieve in this business. So when I got started in 1988, I'm broke, sick, unemployed, government assistance, living with my parents. My wife had left me. I haven't seen her since, which is okay because I married the girl of my dreams who's in the next room over with our little puppy. But my life radically changed because of that. So many times when you meet adversity, there's such a greater opportunity, and then that next window, that next door, that next path that you choose. So when I got started in the industry, not having dealing from a position of strength, and when I mean that, I didn't have capital to start. I didn't have the resources to maybe go back into business for myself, which is a wonderful piece of leverage that you have in our industry. As you know, you do not need a lot of money to get started off in our business. And that entrance, that in terms of the barrier, the ease of getting into our business can sometimes hurt us because it's easy to join, which makes it easy to quit. And that is one of the single biggest things that I have seen why people have not achieved greatness or they've moved on to the next rank is the first obstacle, the first challenge, the first piece of adversity, the first no-show, the first person that says, no, this won't work, the product doesn't work, you don't work, it's all of this stuff. These things, they quit. And I had especially my first year, sorry for as you and I have had these conversations, I had more reasons to quit in that first year, 34 years ago. But the greatest thing is that that made me not quit is I had nowhere else to go. I could not afford to go back into business for myself. I didn't have faith in corporate anymore. I don't think they had any faith in me. So I couldn't get a job. I had to make it work. So let's fast forward 20 years ago when Garcia and I launched NHT Global. Gang, where you are right now in India, no matter where I'm talking to you, from Delhi to Bombay, if you're maybe in Goa, which is very much like what I've got here in Miami, the paradise that you have in India. But I believe you've got that whole country as a paradise. The real paradise is in your heart and your gut and what you want and where you want to go. 20 years ago, when Joe and I started, we only had one product. How many do you have? We only had one website, Joe and I. How many do you have? How many tools did you have to build the business? What did Joe and I have? Really none. We had one website that didn't work. We had one product brochure that was black and white, wasn't even in color. Our product was on back order, which at that time was Allura, it was under another name, and it was a woman's product. Joe and I were marketing a ladies' product that was coming to the marketplace for the first time. You wouldn't believe the issues and challenges we had. We had a lot of fun with it, but we didn't have other products. We had no frame of reference. We had no history. We had no ambassadors. We were the first. We were the very, very first. You in India, you have now got years of history in terms of success, countries and markets around the world. You've got products around the world that have Nobel Prize winning research behind it. You've got ambassadors around the world that have done it in other countries and markets. If they can do it, should you be able to do it? Absolutely. There's no question. So, you know, for Joe and I, when we we saw this, when we got started, we knew one day we were coming to your market. I said, Joey, we come to India. We saw this in 2001 when we got started. About 12 months later, a lady by the name of Huna, who's one of the top global ambassadors that we have around the world, came from China to Los Angeles, didn't know anyone. She was in her late 20s. She was a single mother, couldn't speak the language, and didn't know a soul. Came to Los Angeles. We had not opened China yet. So she came to her very first meeting. She answered an ad in the newspaper, the Los Angeles Times, in 2002. She answered a Chinese ad. Again, she's Chinese. She couldn't speak English, but it was a Chinese ad in the Chinese section of the Los Angeles Times. She came to a meeting in Los Angeles, in LA, and it was translated in Chinese, held by the Chinese, etc., because they have a huge Chinese community there. And by the way, the largest Indian community in the world outside of India is in Toronto. That's one of the reasons why I've been very passionate about India, because we've just got so many wonderful, fabulous Indians, Hindi, Muslim, Sikh, all of them. And as a matter of fact, I lived with a Sikh. I think I shared that with you too, Sarfraz, years ago when I was a bachelor. But back to Huna. So Huna's at this, she gets invited to this meeting. She goes to the meeting. She can't speak English. They are doing a meeting translated into Chinese. They don't let her into the meeting. Why? Because she's got a little baby. It's 6 months old. And there was in its meeting protocol and etiquette where you don't allow pets or children into the meeting. So she had her ear to the door. She had her ear to the door and she's listening to the presentation. They do the presentation. She gets pretty excited. She goes home. She phones the person that she doesn't know because she'd answered an ad, calls that person on the ad that she had answered and said, I'm excited. He said, can you get started with a business package? She didn't have any money. So she found the money to sign up and she got a gold package, which at that time was the size of our platinum packages. It's since changed and basically it was a platinum package that she got. She found the money, raised money to do it. She got a little bit of product and we only had one product that time. She sent the product, a few samples to China by mail. About a month later, they said, send some more. So then she sent some more. About 2 weeks later, they said, send as much as you can. So then one thing led to another. And as far as our IRP, because we didn't have the IRP at that time, but within about 6 months, she got halfway up the IRP. But within 2 years, she got to global ambassador and she had multiple global ambassadors underneath her in driving that market. Today, we are in India. We're fully established. By the way, she did all of this before they even opened up China officially. We are officially in India. You officially have products across the board. You have incentives and promotions. And by the way, what do you think of your new rewards program? How crazy is that? We'll be talking about that in a second. My message and my point here is that we've really done it in every single market that we have gone into every single time. And that is getting our products in, getting them approved, getting the registration of everything, all of that approved, getting a warehouse, which we have done. The biggest thing is our global ambassadors. And we will have global ambassadors in India within the next 3 to 5 years. Absolutely. We'll have more than one. We'll probably have at least a half a dozen ambassadors in your country, in your market in the next few years. So when you look at the opportunity and you take a look at the timing, it has never, ever been better. The key is you. We have all of these incentives and these promotions. We have all of these products that have worked in every other market. Will it happen in India? Sarfraz, will it happen in India? Sabino, will it happen in India? Chingle,
Yes.
Boy, the Zenov, the great leadership, our great eagles. We are where we are today because of the leaders that I've just mentioned. And I applaud all of you for all that you've done since we've really launched this market and since you've joined. What you've done in the last little over a year has been incredible. But I want to share with you, when Joe and I got started 20 years ago, in the first year, after our first year, talk about the challenges and adversity, 95% of Joe and I, our leadership quit within that first 12 months. That is a fact. We had to reorganize, recalibrate, and rebuild our business in that first year. We had a handful of leaders that stuck with us. The ones that stuck with us back in that first year today are now in the tops of the largest organizations that we have at NHD around the world. It's incredible the number of people that we have today that had left in that first year, those first 2 years, that want to come back into NHD today and get that same position that they left years and years ago. So the biggest thing is the long term and understanding that this is a journey. There's a price to be paid. There's work to be done, but it all comes down to bringing your hunger, how bad you want it. We have the system and the model here to support you. Joe and I, we absolutely love your country, love your market. Sabina, we just can't thank you enough for all of what you have done in helping all of what we've been able to do in India, particularly with Sarfraz and his leadership. I know so much of this came through Aditya in those early days and formulating and putting so much of this together. Chingle, I know what you've done. We've watched. And by the way, your names are not just in the Indian market. People know what you've done in India in that first year. So where we go in the next 3 to 5 years, the organizations that we develop in the next 3 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 10 years, where we're going to be and who's going to be joining the business, they will be a part of your organizations. So when I got started living with my parents on government assistance and not even owning my own home, today, as you know, I'm reaching it from my home here in Miami. I also have, and we have to respect them from a compliance standpoint, that, and I really want to respect that compliance-wise, that the great rewards in our business, the great rewards that you get from this business don't happen without hard work, discipline, paying the price, following a system. And it doesn't happen overnight. It happens over time. But the lifestyle and the rewards that you get from this business, I believe are unparalleled globally. I don't know of another industry where you can get started like we have, like you have, with limited capital, limited experience, and being able to achieve the kind of lifestyle. It's not perfect, but for me, it's the best opportunity for the average person to have the kind of life and lifestyle that they've always dreamed of. Again, it goes with a lot of work. There's no question, a lot of discipline. And again, it's long-term, not overnight. So when you look at Sarfraz, the rewards program that we've introduced this year, I think for a lot of you, you've seen what we have had in terms of the IRP and our rewards program up until just this year. Up until this year, the big rewards happened over 90 days in your qualification in terms of the achiever bonus and a lot of what you're achieving on IRP. So we've been able to crunch that to a monthly basis. And Sarfraz, you've gone through this with the Eagles, is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So the big thing here is what you've been able to achieve now on a monthly basis versus what's happening on a quarterly basis. I'll give you some, if you maintain your ranks at rank 1, if you maintain that rank, you're earning $500 a month at rank 1. At rank 2, if you're maintaining that rank, you're going to be earning $800 a month. If you maintain it, this is over and above the achiever the new rewards bonuses that we've got, which are crazy, absolutely crazy. So when you saw those rewards, reward incentives and the commissions and the income that you're getting from that, I'm sharing with you what you're going to earn on the compensation in just maintaining your rank.
Right.
If you're maintaining your rank at rank 3, it's $1,500 a month. It's obviously going to be more than that because of the rewards and the incentives that you've got that have been introduced, which you're going to get paid now on a monthly basis. At rank 4, it's $2,000 a month just to maintain. At rank 5, it's $4,000. This is the minimum. By the way, it can be a lot. This is the minimum. This is the absolute minimum. For a lot of our people, they're, that have maintained it, because again, that's the minimum. It's going to be a lot more than that for anybody that has got just one BV more than that. You're going to get paid more than that. So at rank 5, it's $4,000 a month. At rank 6, it's $8,000 a month. At rank 7, it's $15,000 a month. That's the minimum to maintain the rank. Now, when you maintain it, as you know, you've got all of those other rewards that are kicking in. When you move to the next rank, you get all those other commissions that are kicking in. And at the end of the quarter, if you've done it, it doubles. So this is tremendous. This is fabulous. We've never introduced a rewards and incentive program that rewards our people for going out and doing their work just over 30 days. So at rank 7, again, it's $15,000 a month. At rank 8, it's $30,000 a month. Now that's the bare minimum to maintain your rank. And as an ambassador at rank 9, it's $60,000 a month. Now that is the absolute bare minimum just to maintain it. Obviously, it's going to grow and it's going to be much higher than that, et cetera, et cetera. Then you got your incentives and rewards. So, Sarfraz, I think the only variable that we've got here is work, is taking action. Obviously, this doesn't happen unless someone takes action and goes to work. And by the way, what ranks? How many ranks do you know, Eagles, that we have right now? How many do we have at rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way through your organization rank right now, off the top of your head? Would you know?
Approximately, we have around 25 people.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Rising star to rank 5. Yeah. 20, 25.
Yeah. That is incredible. Well, I just shared with you, to maintain those ranks, those are the bare minimum in terms of commissions that you'd be earning. And then with the new incentive and rewards program, you know what you'd be earning from that.
Easy, yeah.
So there's never been a better time than to take advantage and leverage from the incentives and promotions and the rewards program that we've got now, as well as the compensation plan. So we've got that. We've also, as you know, we've got the car program that's still there. The travel program's still there. The education program is still there. It's all there for you. And again, it's never been a better time. So, Sarfraz, I think just from a timing standpoint, I wanted to respect the time that you had with your Eagles. It's a great, great pleasure to be on with you. We've got a huge call that's coming up this Saturday that's going to have Mali, Global Ambassador. We're going to have Huna, Global Ambassador, on the call. We're going to have Maya on the call, Garcia, myself, and our top-ranked distributors and our top-ranked leader that we have in India, your own Sarfraz, will be on that call. So the top-ranked leadership from around the world, all of our countries, will be on that call, and that'll be, again, this Saturday. So it's going to be a great, great call. I want to thank you for allowing me to reach out to your Eagles. And if we've got some questions, which I guess have come through, I'm here absolutely for the next few minutes, Sarfraz, to answer any questions that they've got. So again, it's a pleasure to reach out to all of you, connect with all of you. And I can't wait for the next time I come back to Bombay, to Delhi, to Goa. And I was at the Taj Mahal. I'll never forget that experience as well.
You need to especially come to Northeast Nagaland, because that's where the maximum work is happening right now. And I really want to tour you.
I saw that.
Yeah. So,
yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
actually, that's the place where we're having the major part of the team, which has grown and has been powerful. And people have been really, fantabulous with their commitment. And it just been like, we have been really seeing leadership happening big way, because people who can really see the product and who can see the result, they are basically taking this opportunity to the next level. So I'm really happy to have a new setup of new people who have come in with a kind of a force of, encouragement with the leadership. And I really congratulate my 2021 top leadership, Vicino Basumatri, Visa, and everyone who has been contributing from Minino and Lochumi, who's been from like a standpoint of, they have been real good contributors for 2021. So my real thanks to each and every one, because they make the Eagles stronger. And this year we are looking at rank 4 in a multiple series, rank 5 also in multiple series. It's not just going to be me. They're going to push me to the next rank. My entire team, we all together are going to lift each another, and we're going to have a real great stand together for 2022. And that's what it is. So I'm really thankful that, sir, you have given us this powerful, inspiring kind of a vision, what we can really put this to the market and really take this to the next level. So my question today is, as we stand today, as we're looking at this great opportunity of the first quarter to make this big bucks, okay? So, there are things which really matter for people. Sometimes it's money, sometimes it's the company, certain time it's the opportunity, certain time it's leverage, sometimes it's community help. Now, what is that one thing which will inspire the people, okay, in today's point of view? What do you think in leadership, what you have seen globally in NHT Global? What has been the major? Is the money being the part of the growth of NHT, or was it the product, or what was it exactly?
Yeah, Sarfraz, that's a great, great question, because it fits into perfectly who we are, why we've achieved the success, and most importantly, why we will continue to accelerate and grow globally. I believe people take action and will do and pursue a goal, a dream, will take action through one of two things: inspiration or desperation.
Sure.
It's one of two things: inspiration or desperation. For me, 34 years ago, it was desperation. I had to do something. I was beyond, as I shared with you, broke. I was not at a good point in my life. I was embarrassed where I was. I was just embarrassed. My self-esteem was at an all-time low. I was absolutely desperate. I had to make it work. My government assistance checks were running out. My father reminded me of this. I'm living with my father, who was a United Church minister. He had done missionary missionary work around the world, in some of the most impoverished areas of the world, like Haiti and Africa. I grew up there. I grew up in Africa. So, even though I was at the lowest point of my life, I knew there was other people around the world. And I never forgot that, because I never forgot where I came from. I saw other people that had less than I had. So when I was introduced to this industry, and then obviously here with NHT, today it's inspiration for me. So where in the very beginning it was desperation, today it's inspiration to be able to provide an opportunity for anyone, regardless of where they come from. It doesn't matter where they come from. But the one thing I know that you can't do is you can't teach desire. You cannot teach desire. You can't push a rope. The teacher will arrive when the student is ready. The teacher will arrive when the student is ready. They say you can't push a rope. You can't put toothpaste back in the tube. You can't teach desire. That desire has to come through inspiration or desperation. I believe it's just one of those two things. And that's the beautiful thing about NHT. And it fits into what's happening in our world today. What is happening in our world? We're going through this. It'll be 2 years this March. Why did we excel where so many other industries and so many other companies from other industries and other situations? There's obviously been scale in a lot of parts of the world, but you take a look at the companies or the industries that were able to scale in our world in the last less than 2 years. They had to have something to do with technology. If they had a model that was built with technology, wonderful. If you provided an opportunity where someone could work from home versus going to an office, you certainly had an opportunity. Did you have products that helped with health, with immunity? You're going to scale. If you had something too that had a global model to it as well, because you were able to reach other parts of the world, regardless of political agenda, all of that. The supply chain issues that they were having. If your particular market was maybe stalled or suffocated, or you hit a bump, you could always maybe scale your business from a global standpoint. You had that opportunity. When for a lot of people that maybe you're not in a position to go into business for themselves because they didn't have the money. Well, if you had that kind of an opportunity where someone gets started, and they didn't have a lot of money, you had that opportunity. So when you saw this and you saw people losing their jobs and people were looking for an opportunity and they wanted to go into business for themselves, we fit all of that criteria. And the incredible thing is we had been in that zone and in that space for the longest time. So when the pandemic hit back in March of last year, thank you. I mean, it just, from a business and an opportunity standpoint, my God, for the rest of the world and what's happened through the pandemic, we pray and we hurt for all of those people that have suffered through it. But in terms of opportunity, our opportunity is probably the strongest and one of the best in the world out there today for someone to be able to take advantage and leverage from that. So when you start to have issues coming up again, which we've had in some parts of the world, we have with Omicron, well, we've already proven that, like a year ago, March, when it hit, it was an unknown. It was an unknown. Could we survive or thrive? Well, we didn't survive, we thrived. So we've already proven that we can not just survive, we can thrive. And the group and the organization that thrived the most in the pandemic last year was who?
Right.
The Eagles.
Yes.
The Eagles in the pandemic. So, my God, you guys have proven it. They've always said, most people know what to do, but will they do what they know?
Yeah. So I remember.
Will they do what they know?
I remember
so here we are
Yeah.
with such an opportunity. And like I said, you can't teach desire. It's inspiration or desperation. It's sitting right there for you. You guys have done it. You've already proven that. The rest of the world saw what you did, which was pretty fun to celebrate, and we did. By the way, everyone knew of India, how you guys performed in a pandemic. They not only knew it was India, they knew it was the Eagles of India.
Yes. And I'm really happy and I'm really proud that everyone in the team contributed. I remember we did 84,000 PV. My God.
I know.
And we went to the number one position from zero standpoint. And I really congratulate and thank my Eagles. We have like
Correct.
84,000 PV, and then it was 78,000 in 2019. And 2020, we repeated to 84,000. We broke our own record. And this year, I'm planning to go that 150 PV. So everything is possible. It's all about, the belief factor, as you said. So the pandemic has always been the past now. We talk about
Correct.
we know where we stand, and we know exactly how to deal with this problem. And we have seen how online has exploded. $1 billion industry has been growing, and the direct marketing in India is really been, helping them to grow with proper policies and integrity. So a lot of nonsense companies go out, and companies of credential like NHT Global get a good standpoint in India, and they will come to credibility. So I will have a question, sir. Today, as the world changes from here, as we have seen that the immunity market and the nutrition part of the health has been like an explosive market globally. So does anything change from here? Do you think that people will stop taking nutrition and they'll go to more to digital money or digital kind of currencies? Or is that people don't want to care for their health anymore and they're just going to go mad behind money, or they will forget their health? So do you think that NHT will have a growth at this point of time where people are thinking only money and desperation and forgetting the health?
Yeah. Well, that's what gets me so excited. It's we're proud, Sarfraz, of our legacy and what we've done over the last 20 years, but we're going to obliterate what we've done over the last 20 over the next 20. It's insane what we've got in front of us. You see, the one constant that you do have in life, they say, is change. Charles Darwin said, one of our, the philosophers that I've got great admiration for, he said, the true genius in life is the ability to adapt and adjust to change. It's one of the one constants that you'll have in life is change. But here's some things that won't change. The fundamentals, the very, very fundamentals of our business. There's two things that are at our core. And I said this on the outset of the call. Number one, everyone loves our products. I don't care where you go, everyone loves our products. The second one is people will always want a better way of life. It is a given. The human race will end. The planet will end if everyone gives up, stops, and quits life, which is not going to happen. We know that. So everyone wants a better way of life. We provide an opportunity and a solution to both of those. Another gentleman that I really admire, his name is Paul Zane Pilsner. Paul Zane Pilsner was one of the top economists in the world in the 80s. Paul Zane Pilsner, he wrote a book in 1989 called Unlimited Wealth. Unlimited Wealth. Now, Paul Zane Pilsner was the chief economist for the former Bush administration, not George Jr., George Sr., and the Ronald Reagan the administration. So he was the chief economist for two U.S. presidents. He wrote a book called Unlimited Wealth in 1989. In that book, I read in 1990, he said wealth was going to be created in the 90s and in the 21st century, the one that we're in now, obviously. He said in three areas: communication, distribution, and technology. He said in those three areas, communication, distribution, technology. He was dead on. What are we doing? We're in constant communication, our distribution around the world, and at its core, to get that out there from a logistical standpoint, it's driven through technology. Well, his next book, which was his second last book, it was called The Next Trillion-Dollar Industry. The Next Trillion-Dollar Industry. That industry was health. Health and the preservation of health in our industry of direct marketing. So it's pretty interesting. Always be at the right place at the right time. We are, there's no question. What is really crazy, Sarfraz, is you can go to where we started our business. Our warehouse, our very first office was in Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas, 20 years ago. You can go through Dallas, Texas today. 99, you ask 100 people, you'd stop them on the street. You ask them if they've heard of NHT Global, or if you've asked them if they've heard of any of our products. They've never heard of our company. They've never heard of our products. They don't know about our opportunity. And that's where we started 20 years ago. It's the same thing in India and where you are. You can go to the Northeast where the nest, the eagle nest is situated in the Northeast of India. 99% of Indians in the Northeast of India have still never heard of us, our product, and our opportunity. So the timing could not be better and has never been better.
Wow, that was great, sir. We have Dalibor, sir, also on with us today. Hi, Dalibor.
Oh, great.
Dalibor, can you come? You can get your video on. We have a question for you. Can you hear us, Dalibor? I think Dalibor stroke. Okay. Anyways, I think, sir, I will ask Dalibor to. So the other thing, what I want to ask you, last and the final thing, as we are the pioneering people in NST Global, and if we want to hit our ranks, what is the ingredients we require to be that real people who can hit those ranks? And what is the belief system we should have and we should carry to make it happen from the day one till the quarter ends and we see ourselves being there?
You know, Sarfraz, yes, the greatest questions, because it's really, you know, at the core of who we are and why we are and where we're going from an opportunity standpoint. You know, we address that with inspiration, desperation, you know, the model that we have and how we fit into that. I'll never forget when I went to that first meeting 34 years ago. 34 years ago, I was at a meeting. I was invited by a person when I answered an ad in Toronto, Canada, living with my parents, which was June of 1988. I went out of desperation to this meeting. I didn't know this guy. I answered an ad about our industry. As you know, as I shared with you, I'm living with my parents. I'm on government assistance. My wife had left me. I was sick. I was running out of my government checks, my unemployment insurance. It was running out. I had to find something. I had to do something. Out of desperation, I went to this meeting. I couldn't have been more skeptical, and my self-esteem was at an all-time low, even though the guy who, he didn't know me because I answered that. The guy I didn't know, obviously, he's not from my country. He was from the United States, and he'd come to Canada, wrote, you know, had this ad. It was on an industry I did not understand, and I actually thought was illegal, on a company that was brand new to our country. I mean, it was unbelievable. I'm sitting in that meeting with my arms closed like this for the first 20 minutes. I didn't understand a thing. He talks about the industry, didn't understand it. He talked about the company, and I understood business because that's where I came from. So I understood it was an 18-year-old company, et cetera, et cetera. They talked about the products. The products were environmental products, water filtration systems. I kind of got that because I understood what the products did in terms of performance. Then they talk about the compensation plan. Oh, was I confused? Oh, I didn't understand the industry, and I definitely did not understand the compensation plan. Then I found out how much the guy at the front of the room was earning per month. That I understood. Soon as I heard what he was earning, and I knew his background, I found out their background, and I talked to other people in the room. at the ranks that they were at and what they were able to achieve in the business, that I understood. I didn't understand anything else that day, but I understood that if they can do it, I can do it. It was the first ingredient, bit, step of belief. So two things happened the first thing was belief, and you brought that up in terms of belief. There was two things. Number one, there was a belief that there's an opportunity here. That was core. I knew there was an opportunity here. Number two, this was the most important, belief in myself. If they can do it, I can do it. I'll figure this out. And I had no idea what I was doing for the first 3 months in the industry. I had no clue. I had no clue what I was doing. All I did was I was ignorance on fire. But that's more important than knowledge on ice. I am telling you, it is so much your enthusiasm and your excitement and your passion and desire to get where you want will be the most important thing, especially when that brand new distributor who doesn't know what's going on, because you'll figure it out. When you buy a car, what's important? What's under the hood? Or if you push the button, you know it can drive. When you buy a TV, what's important? What's behind the TV and how it works? Or when you just push the remote, you know it works. Just know that our industry works. Just know that hitting these ranks works. Just know that you can get to rank 9 and become a global ambassador. And it's only going to happen if you work. That is the only comment there. If you know that you can get to rank 9, you know in your heart, all you got to do is work, and you have to work. It does not happen without it. Doesn't matter if you want to own a restaurant, you want to own a textile business, you want to become a physician, you want to become a banker, you want to become a lawyer, you want to become a politician, you want to become a great cricket player. It takes work and time. And if you want to have the lifestyle that you can have in this industry, you'll have to go to work. But don't worry about trying to figure this thing out. You will. It is a given. You will figure it out as you go along. You will earn as you learn. Never forget that. So 6 things that are key here in terms of belief. And I mentioned the last one that's the most important, and that's belief in yourself. But the core 6 things are belief in the industry, belief in the company, belief in the product, belief in the system, and belief in yourself. Those are the most important. Believe in the compensation plan. I think we hear that compensation plan, knowing that you can earn an income here. But the most important is belief in yourself. So, brother, that is it.
Yep.
I have a Zoom call with the Chinese.
Sure. I know, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time. I really appreciate the time you have given us, and I really want to take this, and I really want to thank it for my Team Eagles leadership that we have a real master of inspiration for us today at this opportunity meet for the 2022. And I really thank you for your time, sir. And I don't want to put in some more questions. I just want to go up with my team and give them that this gentleman has lived a lifestyle. He's a legacy. He has built homes all over the world with this company and with this industry. So, it doesn't come like this way. He has put his hard work. And today he has a house in Miami, I guess, in California. You're living in Florida.
No, I'm in, Miami is South Florida. I'm actually on the ocean. Wow. It's very much like Goa. I've been to Goa. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. I know why they call it Goa, because you got to Goa there. You got to, yeah. It is one beautiful place. Yeah.
Yeah, we know what kind of stuff you have done and what you have today with you, and you have such a beautiful lifestyle. And we all want to, we just dream today, and we want to be there soon, and we want to achieve that kind of, leverage lifestyle. That's what network marketing is all about. So you are the one who has done it, and we really want to take this and thank you as a token of appreciation for making it happen for today. And thanks for your time, sir. And I would not take much of your time. I would really give the punchline of yours to end this. A last punchline for my Team Eagles.
It's been a pleasure, Sarfraz. I love you, man. You remind me a lot of me, and you really do. A younger version of me. Thank God for these products. Yeah, and I love your Eagles. They're beautiful, and I love them. I love every one of them. And you've got a great Eagles nest there, brother.
Yep. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Appreciate your time, sir. Thanks a lot.
Okay, man. Big call next Saturday. This Saturday, we'll see you all there.
Yeah, we're going to be there. They're going to be there. Plus, we're going to have another setup of meet from Dalibus Stroke. So, if Dalibus, so you can introduce us for that, and so you can leave for the meet. You can carry on with your Chinese meet, and I'll ask.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. I'll see everybody at the next rank.
Sure.
And at Ambassador. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you, sir. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Dalibus, are you there? No worries. So anyways, guys, so thanks for attending today's meet, and I really thank each and everyone for coming up today. We had this great opportunity to meet today, which was incredible, which was inspiring, which was completely about the NST Global Vision of 2022, and we are super excited. And I, at the Team Eagles leadership, was so happy to have such incredible leaders with us today. And I'm so happy that we have made such incredible impression around the world, and we are known as Team Eagles leadership. It's not about Sarfraz Khan, it's about the Team Eagles. It's about the team. It's about each and everyone who put their heart, their whole efforts to make this happen. And today we are a popular name with NST Global. We are just a renowned name. We are just a brand. And that's the branding which we have got. And I really thank that everyone has done their excellent contribution to this big name of Team Eagles leadership. So guys, thanks a lot for attending today's meet, and let's go make it big together. And there is anything what I can do, I'm here to serve you. I'm here to, I am always here to be a shepherd with my lambs, and go easy, go nice, learn, go out in the fields, get them open, let them live the best of lifestyle. Always be humble, always be to ground, and always learn this business is all about honesty, integrity, not about cheating. It's about a product-based company. It carries a lot of credibility for long term. So we're not here for 1 year, 2 years. We're here for a big time. So guys, take this opportunity seriously. Don't take this something like, it's just like a time pass. If people will do that, they will never grow in life. So this is such an incredible time that we have. Just see what the product is doing. You know yourself what this company has done and what contribution we've done to the immunity with skincare. Today we have so many centers. Today we have another 3 more centers open in Punjab, and they are doing with the skincare. The skincare is doing amazing business. The Alorolux is doing the business. The nutrition are doing the business. Triopine has been the top selling product in last year. Alorolux has been the top selling product. We have contributors like Lochumi who has been top sellers with it. We have Vicino who doesn't need a name to sell the brand. She can sell anything on planet Earth. We have Visa, who's one of the best contributors with the distribution channel. So we have got Chingli, Zubi, we have Moi, we have Ramte Pachao we have such classy people. We have Standho from Senapati. We have horses who can go and make this happen. It's just that 2022, how serious are you? Are you ready to take those big bucks? You know what is standing in front of you with this 3 months? It has a big opportunity of a big, it's going to be a big. You see the 3 months IRP, go and see yourself, and you will not even believe what the kind of stuff you're going to make. Just go and see. I'm crazy about it. I'm going to make big bucks for this first quarter. So are you ready? Let's sit down, jot out a plan, and just make this happen. So anyways, thanks a lot, and let's end this up. And I appreciate your kind of contribution for coming up today. God bless. Cheers. Bye-bye.